Start a conversation on wine in British Columbia, and before it ends, the name of Anthony Gismondi will surely come up. The publisher-editor of Gismondi on Wine, this clever guy has guided us to more great bottles than anyone else around. Anthony is Canada's most influential wine critic. A writer, broadcaster, and speaker, his expertise is widely acknowledged throughout the international wine community. He is currently in his 10th year at Wine Access, his 3rd as editor-in-chief, and he is beginning his 19th year as the weekly wine columnist at the Vancouver Sun. His comprehensive wine website, GismondiOnWine.com, attracts more than 750,000 hits a month from 70 countries. An avid proponent of appellations and site-specific wines, Anthony spends at least 3 months of each year traveling the world's vineyards to experience the wine notion of terroir in person. In the last 48 months, Tony's travels have taken him to the best vineyards in Argentina, Australia, Chile, France, Germany, Italy, Portugal, New Zealand, Spain, South Africa, the United States, and of course, Canada. All of us are the beneficiaries of his travels, his wisdom, and his impeccable taste. We welcome our good friend Anthony Gismondi into the BC Restaurant Hall of Fame.
Who could have guessed that an Italian guy who was a football jock growing up in Hamilton in the 60s would turn out to be Canada's most influential wine writer? It's unbelievable, eh? I knew this guy 35 years ago when he knew practically nothing about wine.
Yeah.
But he's always had a great passion and love for it, and he's just great. How is it in the wine business? Have you got a good restaurant or wine tip for $9.99?
Well, let me say, Sid, growing up in Ontario playing hockey and baseball and football all day long, I actually really dreamed about getting into the Hall of Fame. I just didn't think it would be the Restaurant Hall of Fame. But I'm delighted anyways.
Well, I'm amazed that you're a friend of the industry. With your criticisms, I thought you were an enemy of the industry.
Yeah, well, I tried to get them to change that title tonight, but you know, it's been a long road, and I've been really pleased to, actually privileged to watch the British Columbia wine industry grow from the very beginning. And as you know, Sid, the whole world didn't come to Vancouver in the 60s, and now they come every day. And so with a push from our international friends and a lot of dedication from people in British Columbia, we have, you know, crawled our way onto the world stage, and I think it's exciting.
Well, even though the Liquor Board doesn't recognize wine as a food, it sure is exciting that the restaurant industry is. And it's so fantastic that wine can complement food and be so good for the restaurants.
Yeah.
We didn't see many wine lists on that Loves menu for 55-cent dinner.
No, and I think tonight, you know, the synergy, someone was talking to me about the synergy between food and wine, and there are a lot of wine people in the room tonight. And a lot of people here may not even know who they are, but every night when you go in a restaurant, and every night when you go to the wine festival, you go to a winemaker's dinner, you go to all these functions about food, and we talk, you know, there's so many great chefs in the city, but of course a lot of it is driven by wine. So it's great for this city to have so much knowledge and be so savvy, and I feel privileged to write for them every week, and believe me, I hear from them if I don't get it right.
Well, we're so lucky to have you in this city, and I congratulate you heartily for all you've done.
Thank you so much, Sid.
One of the greatest websites in the world, Gismondi on Wine, editor at large for Wine Access.
And he doesn't work for me.
He's fantastic. Welcome to the industry.
Thank you, Sid.
And ladies and gentlemen, before we let Anthony go, Dominic Patton, the Arts and Life editor from the Vancouver Sun, would like to say a few words. Dominic?
Sid might not work for Anthony, but Anthony actually does work for me. It's one of the great pleasures that you can say when you actually do something in your life that brings together both your labor and your love. I'm in the fortunate position at the Vancouver Sun as the Arts and Life editor to do that, but I'm in a more fortunate position as every Saturday in the Eat Drink page and every month with our entree libation list, I'm actually allowed to have one of my closest friends and someone I have great respect for tell people to have a good drink. This is a man who has a scathing wit, a discerning eye, and as you all know, an incredibly tender and gentle palate. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you a true friend of the industry, Mr. Anthony Gismondi.
Thanks, Dominic.
You almost dropped it.
Jeez. Thank you so much. As I said earlier, I'm very privileged to be here tonight, and I know that I know all the great chefs in the room, and I've, as you can see, I've been in their restaurants for many years. Few people I would like to thank. Most importantly, I certainly want to thank my wife Sheila, who puts up with 200 nights a year out and 3 months of the year on the road. And we've been married for 27 years, and I think she gets it, and I thank her so much. And my son Michael and Ellen, they're both in university, which means I can't actually retire when I want to because I have to keep writing because we're so well paid, Dominic. Now, just quickly, I want to mention a few names. I know it won't mean a lot to...
Anthony's actually paid by the word.
Yeah.
But he thinks by the bottle.
Thank you. Some people will know these people. Many years ago, I met Albert Gifton, Sid Cross, David Spurl, and Dr. Alan Tobe. They only had one mission in life, and that was to share all of their great wines with me. So you don't get somewhere just by thinking you can get there on your own. They were terrific. They got me going. I got the bug from them, and I thank them. Rhonda May really gave me my first great job writing in the city at City Food, and thank you very much, Rhonda. I'd still like to write for you, but you know, you have to. We have to get together and do it. Also, my good friend Murray McMillan's here tonight, and for those of you who think that I'm a great writer, I think not, but Murray is a man who, we had a lot of talks about commas and exclamation marks, and Murray always said to me that I was allowed to use one exclamation mark a year in my copy, and then he took that one out when I used it, so thanks a lot, Murray. And finally to Casey Wilson, thanks so much to my radio partner who really is my sidekick. And Casey tries for people to see my kinder, gentler side, and I think she does a good job of it. Thank you so much, Casey. Thank you all, and let's keep raising the bar. We've still got a ways to go, but we've got all the talent to do it. Thanks so much.